like they said, we're going on 50 years in this neighborhood. You know, it's a home of ours, it's a piece of ours, legacy, nostalgia, name in Bartolomeo, street signing. You know, we've had a lot of impact in this community. So we're here to stay. We're not looking to We're not looking to leave. We're not looking to be intimidated. We're not looking to be pressed. Just like Mr. McMahon said, we got to start hammering on these guys. These guys are getting a little out of control. They're a little too comfortable. They're walking into people's places, taking dumps, not looking to leave. It's unacceptable. I'm not going to tolerate it.
Well, thank you everybody for coming. An institution here in the Fort Richmond area, Brothers Pizza and family tradition. But we're here to tell a message loud and clear to anybody who walks the streets of Staten Island. Let's just set the table first. Because we have such an exceptional police department, the best in the world, because we have such an exceptional district attorney and his staff, this would be the safest big city in America. And we want to keep it that way. So when things happen out of the blue, we're not just going to sit back and let it fester and say it's okay. We're going to join together as a community and send a signal to those guys who want to cause mischief and want to potentially hurt and harm others and who knows what else, that we're not going to tolerate here in Staten Island. Recently there was an event here, and one of the sons is going to speak about it, where it was quite dangerous. And why we are here, other than hopefully that person will face his day in court, is that the laws of this state and the policies of the city, the laws of the state still aren't strong enough to keep people like that off the streets. And we have to keep banging the drum in Albany that laws need to be changed so that the people, the innocent people of Staten Island and across the state, can walk in peace. So I'm not going to talk too much other than we stand united. We have a great group here in Fort Richmond, Mariners Harbor, North Shore Alliance, who are trying to do things right and make this community better. So we want to thank them publicly. And it could have been Brothers Pizza one day. It could have been Danino's. It could have been Ralph's Ices. It could have been another small business owner. It's not just because it's brothers. We will be here for any time something like that happens. And again, leading the charge, Chief Law Enforcement Officer here in Staten Island is our great District Attorney, Michael McMahon.
Thank you so much, Mr. Borough President. Thank you for convening us and reminding us that, yes, Staten Island is the safest community its size of any in our nation. And it's for a reason, and you really touched on it. It's because we have this incredible partnership, this incredibly strong fabric. And at the top of that are you, sir, leading our political leaders here on Staten Island and leading our government and reminding folks that we have to work together to keep that. And yes, we have a great police commissioner. We have a great borough commander, and Melissa Eager with our New York City Police Department, the best in the world. And they're on top of things consistently and vigilantly. And the men and women who work in my office, I'm so proud of them, the folks at the Richmond County District Attorney's Office, who are working diligently right now in every way possible to make sure that Staten Island stays safe. But we also have the community. We have the Fort Richmond Civic Association, the strong group that are here represented, that work so hard to keep Fort Richmond strong. And we have our business community. The Giove family here at Brothers Pizza have been here for more than a generation, here and across the borough, and we thank them for that. We thank them for their investment in our community and reminding us that they put in not only their blood, sweat, toil, and tears, but their capital to make sure that we have this business here in Fort Richmond. So when something happens, like what happened with this individual that the borough president referred to, and everyone thinks, oh my God, chaos is ruling, it's anarchy is loose here in Staten Island. No, it's not. We will not stand by idly and allow people to threaten the business owners and the customers who are here on that day. But we need help. And we need the tools in our toolbox. We need the laws to be stronger. Bail reform is one that comes to mind. An individual commits a crime like this, and listen, the case is still under investigation, We have every intention to pursue a felony in this case, but the laws make it difficult. And we want our legislators to hear loud and clear. And our Staten Island legislators are great, but they've got to get the message up there and all to the rest that with the landscape that we have, the legal landscape that we have, it's very difficult to keep Staten Islanders safe. And so what happened on March 22nd when an individual came in here and acted belligerently and dangerously, someone could have been really serious hurt. You see the video, it's not acceptable. And we will do everything we can to make sure that he is brought to justice and this community is safe. But we want the people of Port Richmond to know we are open for business. And we want customers to come here. We will be safe, we will protect you, and we will work together with the civic and with the business leaders to work on conditions in this neighborhood as they exist. So I'm honored to be here. We thank the borough president, we thank the Giove family and Brothers Pizza for their partnership, and we want everyone to know that we will do everything we can in this case and in any other cases to continue to keep this borough and this community safe. So thank you so much for allowing me to come with you today.
Thank you very much, Michael. We're in good hands with you. And as we mentioned, there's no more important responsibility of the government than personal security. You can have all the economic security you want, but it's fleeting if you don't have personal security. And I want to publicly thank the Police Commissioner Tish and our Borough Commander Eager as well for leading such a dynamic group of cops, police men and women who serve this community with pride and distinction. And why we're here is because this family celebrating coming on the 50th anniversary, Brothers Pizzeria. We applaud them for that. And it's not just investments, it's hard work, a combination, and it's a family tradition. And representing that family to tell a little story is Giorgio Gil.
I just want to thank everybody who came out to support me, especially my family members that are standing behind me. It's a difficult time right now. Everybody's a little stressed out, a little nervous about what happened in the situation that I was involved with a couple of days ago. Thank God it went the way it did. I want to thank Mario from Port Richmond Civic Association. He's been nothing but helpful, accommodating, always checking in on us, always giving a helping hand. Really a great guy for the neighborhood. Like they said, we're going on 50 years in this neighborhood. You know, it's a home of ours, it's a piece of ours. Legacy, nostalgia, name in Bartolomeo, street signing. You know, we've had a lot of impact in this community. So we're here to stay. We're not looking to we're not looking to leave. We're not looking to be intimidated. We're not looking to be pressed. Just like Mr. McMahon said, we got to start hammering on these guys. These guys are getting a little out of control. They're a little too comfortable. They're walking into people's places, taking dumps, not looking to leave. It's unacceptable. I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm recently a head coach for a travel basketball team. To be honest with you, it's been pondering in my head that I have to do the right thing by the kids. You know, it's the future that's coming up, and if we stand around to do nothing, we're just going to give it away, this country. And I'm sorry to hear that if we're going to keep it up this way. But good people need to stand up. They need to take control. They need to know what's right and wrong. We're not going to be pushed around. We're not going to be bullied. You know, I bleed the red, white, and blue. I was born in this country, and I'm going to die in this country. Thank you.
I grew up in a tough neighborhood in South Beach. We got your back, 100%. We got your back. Don't worry about that. A little high, but thank you, Giorgio, and thank you for you and your family. Just speaking so honestly and candidly, the message is wonderful. And he mentioned the guy who runs the Port Richmond Civic, Mario. Mario, you want to step up for me?
Again, I thank all the representatives that came. I mean, it's all in the same common ground. We want to save community, a thriving community. But when we have instances like this, it's kind of a gut punch. And when you have legendary pizzeria here for 50 years, spoken very well about it, and with the threats that, you know, their concern is that they got to come to work, serve a pizza to the community, and they have to worry about, you know, being a victim of a crime. This is where we step in. When we have surrounding businesses that are a problem, and we write letters to the agencies that regulate problems like this, and it goes ignored, it's unproductive and it affects the community. When we have an establishment running an unhealthy business, over 24 correspondence with New York State Liquor Authority, and the final summation of the case is a fine. A fine that's kind of dismal. It has no meaning when they're actually continuing their unhealthy business, and it's affecting the community. On March 22nd, it came across the street and affected a hard-working individual that his father and his uncle started. And when is this going to end? This is not the only case. We're here again on 4 Richmond Avenue, dating back from 2019, with water supply, a victim of a crime, because of the New York State bail reform, as the DA McMahon eloquently stated that these weak bail reform laws, this person walked out and now committed the ultimate crime of murder. He's familiar with it. Excellent job by the district attorney's office. Managed to have a conviction, 25 years to life, but it could have been prevented if these bail reforms were fixed. Again, with San Geronimo, immigrant-owned business, 16-hour days. Person coming in, released 24 hours, going back to the same restaurant again, because of the bail reforms. And they call us at 8:30 at night to come, a civilian civic organization, never expecting such a phone call at 8:30 at night or 8 in the morning like this family did, trying to correct the situation which is outside of our reach. So the blame falls on state legislature, as DA McMahon mentioned. And everyone shares the blame with this up in Albany. If you still think that the bail reform is a good idea, there's a serious issue up in Albany. And both sides of the party, particularly in the Staten Island delegation, share the blame for what happened here today, because nothing has been done. Minimal has been done. We're asking you to do your job besides stating we oppose the bail reform. You got to do a little bit more than that. The community knows that the words are meaningless. We need more action. Again, I thank the DA McMahon for coming. Joey family for having patience, and we hope that you have the confidence in the community that they will turn around. And again, Vito Fossella coming up, at the bottom of the 9th inning, and he's coming up for the community. Again, I thank you very much. I thank you all.
Thank you, Mario. I think as you all got the message, we're standing united, fix these laws so innocent people aren't hurt. We thank you. The patriarch is here, the Jovi family. Thank you. Wave. And the brothers, very tight-knit. It's the way it's supposed to be. God bless them, and God bless this community, and God bless them. Thank you. Any questions?
Your question maybe more for the DA. Tell us a little bit more about what happened March 22nd. Flesh it out what happened on March 22nd. What happened?
Sure. So, right now, listen, the case is still under investigation. It has been charged, and there was an arraignment, but we are going to pursue a felony in this case. So stay tuned for next week. I can't talk much more about it as what's happening in the legal process right now. We certainly saw, and the videos are public, that on that day, an individual entered these premises, acted in an inappropriate way, was asked to leave courteously. It looks like that on the film by the proprietors. That individual refused to leave, was convinced to at least get outside, and came back, drew a weapon, and tried to come back into the store. That's what we all see in the video. It's not speaking too much about the investigation, but we're gathered more video, and we're analyzing that, and my felony bureau is working on it, and as I said, we will be pursuing felonies in this case. Yeah, listen, in my mind, anytime anybody commits a felony or attempts to commit a felony assault, that should be a bail-eligible offense. As you know, there's a very limited category of offenses that allow us to ask for bail. Misdemeanor assault, you can hurt someone very seriously, and we cannot even ask for bail in that case. Burglary in a commercial premises, we cannot ask for bail under normal circumstances in that case, and so the list goes on and on. So in our mind, there are offenses that should be eligible for us to request bail, given someone's track record, if you will, their criminal history, and the charges and the violence and nature of it. Someone could be a drug dealer with B-weight, felony weight narcotics on that person. We know they're dealing. We can't ask for bail, and the list goes on and on. So there are fixes The State DA's Association has made recommendations, and we will continue to do that. Raise the age is another thing that Albany has to look at. Young people, because of their age, are allowed to commit serious offenses, and those cases are transferred to family court. They're not even prosecuted meaningfully. So there are holes in the so-called criminal justice reform basket. We'd like them plugged so that we continue to work with our merchants, our community members, our partners in government like the borough president to keep the people of Staten Island safe and the people of the city of New York safe.
Let me just add, because I'm not bound by what the district attorney has. The guy came in, he was acting like a nut, and was asked to leave. And again, this family, they're 50 years. They've dealt with all types over the years, right? They've seen the good, the bad. So they probably exercised their best judgment and said, get out. And instead of just walking away, he comes back with a knife, the size of a ruler, and wants to break back in. And these guys were trying to hold the door to prevent them from going in. That's my point. If he was able to get into the store with that knife, what would have happened? And then to know that within 24 hours, he's back on the street. Vengeance? I don't know. But that's why we are here, because of their, not selfless service, but the fact that they could have been a serious victim of a violent crime. Anybody else?
Thank you. I know it came from DA McMahon's office, but you guys had mentioned an element of there's not a lot of police, it's 16% down policing from 5 years ago, and it's around the same level as the 60s, but it's double the population. Can you speak on how that kind of, what does that add to situations like this and the safety of the island?
Well, we would say this, is that we have the best in the world. We are in constant dialogue to ensure that Staten Island is well represented in terms of personnel, and we will continue that conversation and get the resources that Staten Island expects and deserves, because what we don't want to see happen is anything be compromised or diminished in a negative way, and we will continue to have those conversations.
So you don't believe that Staten Island has the representation, equal representation that we should have?
It's a constant work in progress. We would always want more. We are constantly asking the city for more resources because we value public safety so much, because we support the men and women in blue, and we will continue to have that. My hope is that those numbers will be addressed very soon. Good.
Yep.